What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Pugilism, aka MKO Boxing, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into this one. So a bit of news that is yet to break officially, but I think a lot of people know about it, and it's kind of been alluded to, not explicitly stated, but I think we can all kind of read between the lines, and that's that Ryan Garcia, his next opponent should be Conor Benn. And the reason I say that is because he was recently on social media on Tekashi 69 on his, I guess it's like a podcast he does, a show that he does online. And Ryan Garcia was on there as a guest. And they're having a conversation. I guess they were sort of wrapping it up. And Garcia mentioned that Tekashi I think mentioned he could walk Ryan Garcia out representing the home country of the US and versus the UK, and Ryan Garcia said, yeah, my next opponent, you could walk me out for that, or something to that effect, that his next opponent is from the UK. And we know that Conor Benn has been sort of calling out Ryan Garcia, been looking for that fight for a long time. There was a bit of uncertainty because now Conor Benn's with Zuffa, and there's all this speculation that Zuffa, because of what Dana White said in the past, that they don't really want to work with the sanctioning bodies. But hey, I guess for enough money and for a big enough fight, why not? And I think for them to work with the WBC and everything, hey, why not? I think it makes money, it makes sense. So yeah, it looks like it, although it's not yet been explicitly mentioned. Garcia was saying he's gonna announce it officially on, I believe it's the Jimmy O'Fallon show, late night talk show, quite a big platform, millions of viewers in the US, and it's a big sort of TV show. And TV shows like that, they're not as massive as they used to be back in the days, but they're big platform. Millions of people will be watching it and looking forward to the announcement. For me, I think the only name that really makes sense is going to be, especially from the UK, it's going to be Conor Benn, really. I think, yes, there's other champions from the UK, but if you want to make a big fight, the biggest possible fight, the most amount of money, then you got to go through Conor Benn, because Conor Benn, love him or hate him, the eggs, the PED and all that's happened with him. He's the biggest name. He's a top name in the UK. I mean, outside of, let's say, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, guys like that, you've really, the next one up is got to be Conor Benn. He's extremely popular, regardless of his character and what people think about him, whether you love him, whether you hate him. People want to see him, but outside of that, I suppose you could say Chris Eubank Jr. as well, but I'm not sure what's happening with him. But yeah, so it looks like we'll get Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. He was talking about it being in Las Vegas, so it's going to be in the US of A, which that's a good one. But I think, me personally, I think it would be massive over here, but I suppose with Garcia being the champion, he's going to sort of be in charge of that. But I think that sort of thing, with a good undercard, that'd do a stadium over here. They're both big names. UK fans love the boxing, so you could probably do big numbers over here. But I suppose if you're the champion, you'd have it over in your home country. But yeah, so that's a bit of breaking news. Let me know what you think. I mean, for me personally, I reckon going into that fight, although Ryan Garcia does blow hot and cold, of the two of them, I think Garcia is the better boxer, the technically more gifted and very quick hands, quite explosive. I mean, Conor Benn is good, but I mean, he hasn't looked particularly good in his, certainly not in his last fight against Regis Prograis, who's, well past his best, legs are gone, but he was able to have his spots of success. And, Conor Benn, he's decent, but he's not at that sort of elite world class yet. You know, he's not at the top level yet. So for me, just on instinct, I would say that going into it, you'd probably have to favor Ryan Garcia to win. But don't get me wrong, Ryan Garcia at the same time, he blows hot and cold. You know, he was terrible against Rolly Ramiro, just completely switched off, just not at the races. So I suppose if he has like an off day against Conor Benn, if he's not fully switched on and fully focused and ready, then yeah, Conor Benn could definitely beat him. But I just think Ryan Garcia on form, on his A game, would most likely beat Conor Benn. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. And until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.